So in today's video, we're going to look at 5 different cases for the Galaxy Tab A 8.4 inch. And this is the new 2020 version. And the price on these range from $7 up to about $30. And I'll leave a link in the description below with current pricing and more information. The first case up is the first case I bought when I got this tablet, and this is the Spigen Tough Armor case. It's available in 2 different colors, black and gunmetal, and it's currently $25 on Amazon. Now this is a hybrid case, so you've got a somewhat soft TPU material, and then a harder plastic that kind of snaps into the back. The weird thing is, it doesn't actually feel like a hard plastic on the back. It feels more like another piece of TPU material. Now I do have a screen protector on this tablet, and apparently I didn't put it on perfectly because the corner keeps hitting on this case. Obviously a case like this is minimal protection, but it has plenty of lip to protect the screen. The power and volume buttons are covered up by that TPU material, and it looks like I've already got something on the inside of where it says power, even though they are covered with that TPU material. And then it's got plenty of protection for the rear facing camera. For some reason at each corner they have like these little nubs that stick up. I'm not really sure why they do that. I don't know if they're just trying to protect that camera. And then you get the Spigen logo there on the back. This one's got an extra large opening for the headphone jack. Same thing with the charging port, and then you have cutouts for the speakers on the bottom. So I really like the fact that this case gives you extra grip, because whenever I use this tablet without a case, yeah, it's super slippery. So the next case up is by Influent, and this one they call the multi-angle business cover. This one does have a nice little pocket on the back side. You've also got a spot for a capacitive stylus there on the edge. It's got a hard plastic backing that it snaps into. Then it has a little foam strip on the back, so when you go to stand it up, it gives it a little more grip, which does give you a few different angles to choose from. They leave the power and volume buttons exposed, which is what I prefer on most tablets, so it's easier to use. A pretty good size opening there on the back for the camera. Then it all stays together with a magnet here on this flap. Then on the top and bottom, they leave those exposed, which again I prefer because it just makes it a lot easier to get to your headphone jack and charging port. Not to mention you don't have to worry about it blocking your speakers. So if you have young kids, let's face it, they're probably going to break this tablet, but I think it's going to last a little bit longer if you use a case like this. Now this is the shockproof case by Fenty, and this one is $20 on Amazon. I'm not sure if this comes in other colors than blue, but the nice thing about this, besides just being a heavy-duty case, it's also a convertible handle and stand. So to stand this up, it's really simple. You just turn the handle, and that's pretty much it. So obviously you don't want to hold this by the handle like this because it's a little top heavy. So with this one, you only really get 2 viewing angles. It's either almost straight up and down, or you lay the tablet down and it just props it up at a lower angle. Now technically it does stay up in the vertical position, but I don't know if it's really made for that because it's not that sturdy. It does have a cutout there for the front-facing camera. It also gives you plenty of access for the headphone jack, power and volume buttons, and on the bottom, the charging port. One thing that seems a little weird to me, they made the holes for the speakers point backwards. I have no idea why you would do that. Let's just see what it sounds like real quick. Now, probably the best part of this arcade is that it has one of the greatest arcade games of all time. WWF WrestleFest. Okay, so I'm not sure why, but that sounds really good. So yeah, this one's gonna be really good if you have kids, or if you just like to throw your tablet halfway across the room. The next case up is another one by Influent, and this one is a multi-angle stand case cover, and this is the cheapest case out of all these, at currently $7 on Amazon. Now this one is a little bit different, where it just has a little flap that's magnetic. Now this is the black version, but there's also a navy blue and gray. So very similar to the other Influent case. It's got a hard plastic that the tablet snaps into. The only downside I see about this case is when you close it, it lets you open up apps. So when you close this, you'll definitely want to lock it. The good thing is it's easy to get to the headphone jack, power and volume buttons, and the charging port because they're all exposed along the edges. And then a pretty large opening for the rear-facing camera. So this one doesn't seem as sturdy as the other Influent case, but you do have several viewing angles to choose from. So I guess if I was going to pick between this and the business Influent case, I'd probably go with this one. Now the next case up is by Spec, and I actually got this one right from the Verizon website. This one's called the Balance Folio, and you get two different angles with this. So you can use this one like most other tablets, where you can stand it up and have multiple viewing angles, or you can lay it down and use it as a typing stand. As far as I know, you can only get this in black right now. Now this one is definitely a little more heavy duty than the other Folio cases. I think it might just be a thicker plastic. I'm not sure, but it definitely is a little bit heavier. And this one has a pretty good size magnetic strip on the back, and then a little bit different style clasp here on the front that just snaps into place to hold it together. And then on the side, you've got a pretty large opening for the volume and power buttons, a really large opening for the headphone jack. Same thing with the charging port. I don't know if I've seen a case where they cover up the rear-facing camera completely like this, but I guess that's one way to do it. You can see a pretty large magnet there right next to it where the flap snaps to. So yeah, this one's a really nice case, and somewhat similar to the others. You've got different angles to choose from. This one actually has little indents where it kind of snaps into place, and actually seems to make it a little more secure. And then to put it in the typing stand position, you just fold this underneath, which I guess is okay. It doesn't really seem to stay in place as good. Okay, so this is probably my favorite out of the Folio cases. So hopefully this video gave you a little bit closer look at these 5 cases. Again, you'll definitely want to check out the description below for current pricing and more information on each of these. I sort of consider this video a part 1 of cases for this tablet. So let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more cases for the 8.4-inch Galaxy Tab A, because more than likely there's going to be more cases coming out as the year goes on. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.